Okay, I'm going to speak about onboarding or non-boarding. It's not it's not coming. Okay, and I'm going to copyright non-boarding because I think Katrina's going to use it in her book. Show of hands, who thinks they do onboarding really well here? Great. Okay, it's that. So the standard definition is you're assimilating your employees into the culture of the organisation. But I think it's more than that. It's a real magical moment where employees either want to stay and engage or they switch off and leave. And it's a time to really emotionally connect with employees. It's a real golden window of opportunity. So who can relate to the next slide when it comes? Dilbert did this evil HRD. I love it. So the evil HRD is so far removed from the front line. She knows nothing about what goes on. She promises the earth, and this poor employee, when they come into work, it's not living up to the reality. And actually what we do is we create a really unwelcoming environment. So they were sold a crock of shit, and when they came into work, it was a crock of shit. Or no, actually the other way around. Years ago, I promised my employees whether we could reenact this kind of image, and they sadly declined. And I don't think we want to go over the top, so on day one, do the whoop whoop jazz hands bit. So we did a very kind of British fist pump, very low key. This is my previous team. And I'm actually going to put my current team, who are there, some of them are there, through the paces of this. And it's very painful, as you can see from the faces of my old team. But, okay, tell you a little bit of a story. In 2013, I applied for a job. This was the company's website, really fresh, engaging, modern. I thought, that's the company I want to go and work for. Turned up for an interview, amazing space, fresh coffee, lovely homemade cakes. The desks were overlooking this fantastic atrium backed onto a grade 2 listed building. I sat there for like 20 minutes after my interview time thinking, am I in the wrong place? And I was. Somebody came up to me and said, are you Jane? Yes. And they said, you're in the wrong building. So they took me across the car park from whence I came to this building which I can just describe as a disused warehouse, and took me into an office that kind of looked like this. And so it was totally disconnected from what I saw on the website and my research. So the moral of the story was, I mean, I could have left. I could have thought, this is just not for me. And that's been knocked down since then. It had rats and mice running around it. But, you know, the moral of the story here is you've got to really, what you're selling up front, you've got to make sure that carries right through the whole journey. So your interview, day one, and what goes on after this. This is just some of our work. Now, I can't remember why I put this slide up. It was some great analogy, and I can only think it's because I wanted Kit Harington up on the screen. But it's almost like there is no choice. These are my two favourite programmes. You can't do something really great up front and then not do anything going forward. So this slide, I like it because it's a nice happy face at the end of it, is about, you know, you've got to really think about how you carry your culture and your values right through from that attraction piece, right through the whole candidate employee journey. So what can you do before day one? You've hired the candidate. You want to make them feel that they're part of the organisation already. So make a connection, email them, send them pictures of the team, make them feel that they're welcomed already. Now, you can't always on day one do what Greys do. I would love to have a Greys hoodie and some snacks. But, you know, you can do really simple things. And the next slide when it comes, was wonderful. I started my new job 8 weeks ago. I had a lovely bunch of flowers. I had a card that was written by all the team welcoming into the job. And to me, that was really heartening. I felt really landed and felt warm and fuzzy. So you can do simple things like that. Day one happens. What can you do afterwards? Thinking about buddying, using your own workforce to actually meet with the new employee, have a coffee, tell them where the cash point is, tell them where the restaurant is, where not to go, what to do, etc. And then it doesn't stop. And I think that's where the problems lie. So checking in with people, you know, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, whatever kind of timescale you can think of. Is there anything we can do? Can we make it better? You know, what's your experience? This is some of my current team that's in Charlotte's team over there. And I suppose all I want to say is onboarding isn't just about day one. You've got to actually see it in that whole continuum, pre-boarding, onboarding, and onwards.